Hello everyone, this is Cary Booth and Cheryl Booth again on day 4 of our juice feast for me and fast for her. What do we want to say? Day 4, June 10th, 2014. So last video we did was kind of ad hoc and we winged it a lot. This time we took some notes about what we wanted to discuss, so hopefully we'll be a little more organized. No? Okay. Well, it's worth a shot anyway. So one thing we wanted to talk about was Cheryl's disability. I'll let you talk about it. How long you've been disabled?
Well, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis probably around the time I turned 22, which has been over 20 years ago. I went on disability somewhere around 7 years ago. My mobility is really restricted and I don't have a lot of use of my hands. So I have been not working for approximately the last 7 years.
Cool. You want to share what medications you're on at the moment?
Right now I am taking prednisone, Xeljanz, ibuprofen, Prevacid, and Prozac for depression, and I was taking, up until last night was my last night, which we'll talk about later, taking Xanaflex. It's a muscle relaxant.
So you want to share with some of the medications that you've taken in the past that have either helped or failed, or helped and then failed, or just never helped at all? Or?
Actually, I think I've failed just about everything. I've done injectables such as Enbrel and Rituxan, and I can't even remember everything. I've done Plaquenil, methotrexate. My prednisone dose has been as high as 20 milligrams. I'm currently at 7 and doing okay. Lots of ibuprofen, which I'm working on cutting down. I usually take about 3,200 milligrams 4 times a day. But all my other things I've failed, so right now we're kind of just in a holding pattern and trying to manage the symptoms, but nothing is really being done about the disease itself.
You want to share the pain management that you used to undergo?
Pain management? What pain management? Taking, I took Vicodin for a while. I don't know what I did have anymore, oxycodone.
You were in patches for
oh yeah, I did pain patch. That stuff was just making me sleep and it wasn't managing my pain, so for the past couple of years I've just been taking the ibuprofen to help manage it a little bit. I'm pretty much in chronic pain though, so, but at least the ibuprofen doesn't put me to sleep like the other medications did.
You want to talk a little bit about some of the symptoms you have currently?
Like what?
The arthritis, the heartburn, your list of ailments.
My list of ailments, yeah. Well, as I said, I do have rheumatoid arthritis, and you can kind of tell from my hands that it's been very active. It's considered moderate to severe at this point, and like I said, we haven't really been able to find a medication that manages it. We're just kind of trying to keep the symptoms in check. I have frequent headaches. Typically ibuprofen does not help relieve them, so I could potentially have a headache all day long and be miserable. Due to I'm sure it's due to the medications I've been taking. I've started having problems with heartburn. So that's why I take the Prevacid to manage that, rather than the doctor working with me to try and figure out what's causing it. I just got prescribed another pill, which it does work, but I'd rather not be taking that. I've had problems with depression. I've suffered for that for several years, and I'm really hoping that this will help, this new lifestyle change. Having trouble keeping my weight down, and I believe that's a side effect from some of the medications that I'm on. So that's a concern that I have. I have chronic anemia due to the rheumatoid arthritis and the medication I'm taking. which means my iron levels are very low and I'm extremely fatigued most of the time. I have no energy. So I'm hoping that that will change. And what else? I mean, just the chronic pain and inflammation in my joints. I mean, you can see my hands, my feet are similarly deformed, and I've got swelling in my elbows and my knees, so I would like to hopefully see some reduction in that.
Cool. So your goals. What do you hope to get out of this? I know you mentioned a few of them. But,
I think first and foremost would be I really would like to have more energy. Right now I sleep anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day, depending on the day and how I'm feeling, and I have teenage children that I would like to be able to do things with, and a lot of times I find I'm too tired to do anything that they would consider fun. So Jacob, and my son Jacob is filming this, and he's making faces at me, so yeah.
I am. Sorry about the shakiness. My hands are getting tired.
I would like to either decrease or totally eliminate my medication. I'm more cautiously optimistic about this change, getting a positive benefit from it. Cary is absolutely convinced that if I commit to this change in my diet, that I will definitely see results. And I'm not quite at that point where I want to believe that yet, but I'm hoping that will be the case. I'd really like I said, more energy. I want to lose weight.
You lost 2.5 pounds. Shh.
It's not time for that yet.
Well, now you know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
But with these changes, like I said, I'm hoping to go off, well, at least cut down on my medication. I don't do a lot of physical activity right now, and at some point, as we're getting older, you know, I would like to be able to do things with my husband. He is active, and he likes to do outside activities, gardening and camping and things like that. And right now, I just don't have the energy to even think about it. So that's somewhere on my list too, that I would like to be able to do more things.
So this is, like I said earlier, this is day 4 of our juice fasting and feasting. Cup half empty, half full. What's been your experience to date? You want to share what you've been experiencing?
Well, the first 3 days were, I felt were pretty positive. It rained on Sunday, and with my rheumatoid arthritis, normally when it rains, I tend to...
You left off before the... Continuing where you left off before the phone call. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Alright.
Well, I guess I can start over. I think it was my experiences to date. As I said, and I don't know if it recorded, so I'm just going to say it again. We started this Saturday morning, so I've actually been on it 4 days now. This is my 4th day. Days 1 through 3, I didn't feel as sore as I have in the past. I didn't have a headache. I haven't really noticed a change in my energy level, but I'm not expecting to do that for some time. Sunday it was raining, and I'm normally much more achy and sore on days when it rains, and I did not experience that Sunday. Now this morning it was rainy and overcast, and I was definitely a lot sorer today. So, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, because I think it has to do with what happened last night, night 3.
Pay no attention to the goat in the background.
Or the turkey.
I've been hungry, but I think that's because I'm used to eating all the time, and I am drinking probably, 6 to 8 juices a day, probably 8 to 10.
Probably 8 to 10 16-ounce juices.
So I'm trying to drink more, and I think it's just my body adjusting. I'm not having the food cravings that I would in the past, where, say last week, if I went all day without eating or something, and I would really want pizza or something. I'm just keeping the juices going, and I'm not craving anything, so that's a good thing, because I've been real concerned about giving up some of things like pizza. What else? Last night, well, I currently take a muscle relaxer, which I mentioned before, the Xanaflex, and I noticed Saturday night and Sunday night that it was putting me to sleep, which it hadn't done since before I started, or since I first started it. I think I've kind of gotten, my body's gotten used to it, and I took it Saturday and fell right to sleep, and Sunday I fell right to sleep, and last night I took it, as usual, and I wasn't feeling very well. I had had a juice earlier in the evening that had tomato in it, which was an ingredient that I haven't had yet this week, so that was something new. And I wasn't feeling real great when I went to bed, and I took my medication, and I started feeling really bad. I was afraid to be home alone. I called Cary and asked him to come over and stay with me because I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew it wasn't a good idea to be alone. I felt like I had been drinking, like I was drunk, only that was not the case, and it didn't feel as good as being drunk. But the room was kind of all over the place, and it was just not a good experience. Do you want to say anything about that?
I would definitely say she was in an altered state when I got there. She was pretty much slurring her words, and she was putting sentences together that didn't really always make sense, and she was hallucinating, and yeah, she just wasn't quite herself, to say the least. So that was real interesting. And that, that went on for probably an hour, a couple hours. I went over at midnight, and she was still that way when I think she finally fell asleep for the last time around 2:30.
I have no idea. I don't remember very much of last night.
She doesn't remember very much of last night. I think I finally tried to go to sleep around, or I finally went to sleep around 2:30.
So I'm going to be eliminating that tonight. That is not an experience I care to repeat. Like I said, it was really scary, and I just don't want to do that again. So, yeah. So then I woke up this morning, and I was achy and sore. Like I said, it was kind of overcast today, which is pretty much my norm. Like I said, when it's rainy out, and then I've had this pesky headache most of the day. Not as bad as it could be, but it's pretty persistent. Ibuprofen doesn't really, it helps a little bit, but I'll pretty much have it until I go to bed. So I'm not sure if that's a side effect of my medications from last night, or if it's part of the detox from being on the juice fast. So I guess I'll find out tonight and see how things go and make the decision after that.
Yeah, we may never know. Just eventually the thought is that they will go away and she won't have them anymore. So.
Woo.
Woo.
Wow!
Okay.
Ow!
We did step on the scales today. I cheated and I got curious. We were going to weigh once a week, and I cheated and got curious. So I am down 4 pounds, so a pound a day. And
I've lost about 2.5 pounds.
Like I said earlier.
Yeah.
I cheated my mom off of the announcement. I'm sorry, guys.
So, which over the course of 4 days, I figure that's not too bad. So I'm pretty excited.
So, all right. And so we will keep doing these videos periodically. I know we haven't uploaded the first one, so you'll get both of these at the same time if you happen to search for us, because we're not on YouTube yet. All right. I guess that's it for tonight. Thanks, everyone, and we'll keep you posted. Bye.